Okay, moving. Okay, moving on. What do we think about this screen rumor? I mean, we'll find out in a few weeks.
You just skipped AT&T. Wait a minute.
Okay. If you want to go over that, supposedly.
Well, I'm following your show notes.
Well, you know, we started with number 3, then we moved to number 1, and now yeah, but fine. For those of you,
that's true. We did start.
Yeah, for those of you.
All right. Fair enough. You're right. We did start with number 3.
For those of you who don't know, what Pitt's talking about is AT&T. You know, supposedly has a 28 megabit LTE download speed. You know, my official sentiment to that, you know, is yeah, right.
This is not even really Apple.
Yeah, no, that's why I was skipping over it. You know,
all right.
It's like okay, moving on to the iPad 3 screens.
All right.
It's like, well, like I said, I'll really find out anything, but you know, this honestly makes sense to me that Apple would be upping the resolution like this. But we don't know yet or not. That is, you know, these are Samsung screens, which would make sense, you know, even though Apple's suing Samsung right now. Samsung.
I know, it's kind of weird. I know. I did a post on Twitter just saying, oh, hey, Samsung, you know, your phones look just like ours. Yeah, I know, Apple, you use all of our parts. You know, it's kind of a...
yeah. Well, no, and say that's the thing. Samsung makes a lot of Apple's technology, but Apple buys like most of what Samsung can make, you know, for use in their stuff. That's the debate here. These are Samsung screens. They're the next gen of the 10.1. You know, they're very on par with what you would expect to see in the next generation of the iPad, and people are wondering. Has Apple already started buying these up? Are we going to see these in the next iPad?
Yeah, you will. Look, Apple sued Microsoft, and they work together. I mean, there's lots of companies that sue each other and end up working together anyway. They'll probably be in the iPad. Trust me. Yeah. I mean, these lawsuits. It makes great headlines and sells a lot of advertisement.
Well, yeah, but you're talking about Apple suing Microsoft. That ultimately led to Microsoft and Apple parting ways. You know.
Well, they still had software with each other. Even they still made software for the Macintosh going forward. I'm just saying that a lawsuit doesn't mean necessarily that everybody now has a separate wall and all this. I mean, business goes on, and the context of the case has to be clearly identified, and it may halt some processes that go on between. But I think this lawsuit's a joke, and they're probably just going to hand each other cash and then call it a day. Samsung screaming there. So. Getting
back to that, do you think a 2500 by 1600 resolution, if these do wind up being in the next iPad, do you think that'd be too high a resolution for that form factor, or you think it'd be just...
Probably.
That's higher than high def, so you could have a high def.
It's really high definition.
Well, see, that would be a benefit for media, because you could have a true high def movie, you know, 1920 by 1080, and have room for controls around it without scaling the quality any. But that would be, you know, I think that's actually the same resolution you have on the iMac.
Wait, this the 20 what?
No, that's the no, it's the other way around. I'm sorry. It's the iMac. Yeah, that is the iMac resolution.
It's 1280 by 800, but I mean.
No, the 20.
I don't own an iMac to tell you. I don't even own an iMac. I own a 2006 iMac.
The 2560 by 1600. But when you start getting on these really high resolutions, certain stuff like web pages, unless they're designed to scale well, you know, start looking like you're looking at them from Venus or something. You know, you've just been.
That's a beautiful display, man. That is a beautiful.
Oh no!
I like how they put the nickel there.
No, I think this would be great for media and gaming. I just don't know about internet and stuff. Yeah. It's got a good color gamut.
Let Phil comment though on this.
Yeah, no, Phil.
Well, I think because they're expecting them to do something with the iPad too, of course. So I think if they don't increase it somewhat, I don't know whether they go that high, but I think that they should do it somewhat of an increase in the next one, definitely. But whether they go that high or not is questionable, because like you say, if that's around about what the iMacs have as their resolution, that might be a bit too much.
Well, but putting it in perspective, this would be putting the quality of display on the iPad in league with the quality of display on the iPhone. You know, it'd be making it that 300 DPI display.
Well, what does that do for embedded video cards,
though? They're not specific about that in this article. We'd have to see the Samsung specs, and since this is a prototype thing,
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Rendering.
Well, it's just a screen, so my guess would be as long as your card's configured right, it shouldn't be a problem. However, you're right. That would require a considerably more powerful graphics card to handle that well. And I don't know if Apple would do that, because then they'd have to put a lot more RAM in, and they'd have to build a much.
Well, actually, no. Apple's iPad is kicking everyone's ass. Let's just be clear in video. It's a dual-core video chip, and the Zoom doesn't even have it. It's smoking. They put a damn good graphics card.
But it still has problem with some things. Like
well, if it's not video intensive, sure.
Yeah. I want to see.
If we're benchmarking video, like video buffers and stuff, and
oh no, yeah. But I want to see an iPad that can handle HTML5. So that's
browser support, though. We're talking.
I know. But the reason I want that is because I make web pages, and I don't want to have to tinker and scale a web page back to keep iOS happy. I want to have all my animation effects and so forth for the.
I know what you're saying, dude. Yeah. Did Phil finish his comment on that? I think I interrupted him.
Do you have anything else to say on that, Phil? Nah. Well, we could go into all these iPhone 5 versus iPhone 4S rumors and all of that stuff. When is the stupid announcement supposed to be? What is it? Is it 2 weeks?
WWDC is in June. Yeah, in June.
Is it 2 or 3 weeks though? June what?
Probably 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Some June. Let me find it. I forget the date.
We're hunting for the day.
It is going to be June 6th.
6th. So that is.
My biggest anticipation, I want to see what is iOS 5. That is the whole thing for me. Because I'm holding off on all my mobile purchases because I want to see what Apple's going to deliver with iOS 5.
Well, let's say according to these rumors, there isn't going to be an iOS 5. There's going to be a 4S, and they're waiting a year to do that.
Wait, what? No, that's an iPhone. That's the hardware, not the software. The software's coming out.
Okay, so you think there's going to be a new installment of iOS this year?
Oh yeah, definitely. WWDC is going to be about iOS.
When they done the 3GS, the software only had minor tweaks and minor add-ons. So if it's a 4S, I can't see the software being much of an improvement on it.
I would see it being like an incremental improvement of we've added a few tweaks.
Wait a minute now, but iOS 5 has been like had these rumors since April that better push notifications, better UI management, and multitasking. That's what I'm waiting for, and perhaps maybe some more cloud services that are rendered for it better. Because I'm gonna be disappointed. I'm gonna tell you, I'm holding off on doing everything mobile for purchases because I want to give everybody a fair shot. I want to see what iOS 5 is going to deliver. So it better be a significant improvement on the UI.
Okay, Apple, listen. This is one of your developers here. They are commanding. It better do everything everything. Everything the rumors promised.
No, I don't say the rumors, but I thought they would. I have to go. Everybody's been talking about push notifications and all these things coming out. I hope they better improve on that, or they are. I'm not going to have an iOS product. I mean, my wife will, but I'll forget about it.
Okay, getting into the last main thing here, skipping down. According to Guinness, so take this with a the iPhone is the fastest selling or best selling portable game system of all time.
Okay, I'm not sure about that.
Yeah,
fastest selling, maybe. Okay, wait a minute. They're talking about speed of product movement, not how many.
Yeah.
That may be true.
Yeah, well, that's what they say. The question on that is that a bubble, or is that something Apple can keep up? There's rumors that Apple is working with like ex-Nintendo people to, really push this iPhone as a gaming device thing.
Yeah.
As a way to salvage that it's not the leader in the smartphone market anymore. They're like, well, we're going to make it a device every 10-year-old wants.
No, I think that Apple is understanding gaming, and that's the whole reason why there's a dual-core video card inside the iPad. I think that they see. I've always argued, and I'm on Twitter today again. I'm finding more and more people with buyer's remorse and saying, it was nice for a while, but I'm getting tired of using the tablet. They can't do things as fast on it, and it's a chore to lug around and on. These are things I always warned about, and a lot of people will find a use for it. I have some friends that
honestly,
show me online that they use it for stuff. But
I don't know about you, Phil. You went and bought an iPad, didn't you, Phil?
The first gen, yeah.
Okay. Are you using
How often do you use it?
Yeah.
Mainly just for keeping up with TV schedules, and mainly mostly on the game side of things, not really that much.
Wow. So it's like a $500-$600 product for, what did he say, games and then what? TV something?
TV schedules.
Wow. I'm sorry, Phil. Wait a minute. Okay, so then wait a minute. So it's a $500 to $600 product for just sell it, dude. That's all I'm just. Are you serious? That's it?
Well, from my point of view, basically the reason why I went that's partly why I went for the one where after the iPad 2 came out, was because I wasn't too sure how it was going to pan out for me. So and to be honest, I don't know whether that still could change. But the thing is that's just how it is as of now. But the thing is that for me could change. So that's why I went for it after they discounted it, because I didn't want to be going and paying full price for obvious reasons.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Well, I mean...
honestly, when I look at the iPad, here's who I see the iPad being good for. Okay, it's the Zoom I see also being good for these people, but I also see as that
I don't
thing
see any tablets. See, that's the thing. I don't think any of the tablets, other than RIM and HP, are worth a damn. I mean, because to me, it's a multi-purpose device is never going to outcompete a notebook.
Well, no, and I say that's what I was going to say. Honestly, who I'm seeing these Slate devices be targeted at, and who I honestly see using them, are the 6 to 24-year-olds that aren't actually working yet. They're not in the actual world. They're in the consumption.
They don't really have a computer system yet.
Yeah,
exactly. Tablets can be good for people.
Yeah, they're a link device to consume content and be on the go and so on and so forth. And I see that being the device for the 6 to 24-year-old. The kid to college student who doesn't need the actual computer yet, but they need a computing device. Because everybody needs one, and that's honestly who I see this being at. I see it being also beyond that point. I see it being the third computing device for the high-end people who, the people I'm talking about, they have a desktop, a laptop, a netbook, a phone, and a Slate. They have everything, because just depending what they're doing. But the target market I see for these Slate devices, whether it's iPad, Zooms, whatever, is the educational system, 6 to 24-year-olds. They just don't need that full-on device yet. Every kid wants that full-on device, but the majority of them don't need it.
Well, I appreciate Phil's honesty with that. The way I do look at it, because that's for me, is that I look at it, I said, this is a $500 to $600 item. What is it going to do for me? And the reason why I say RIM and HP have a niche is because they have connectivity with the phones. Because that's how I look at a tablet. I think, I would prefer that my smartphone just go right back to being a cell phone to do texting, and then the tablet be the extension of the phone where I can do everything else. Because while you can do texting nice on a phone and you can do email, I think we push the limits of these things with the screen real estate. I hate virtual keyboards. My screen is gone when that damn thing comes up. And that's why I seek a small tablet, and I like RIM's form factor.
Well, this is one of the reasons I actually like Android in that market, because with Google doing this cloud syncing, I can do all the utilitarian stuff on my phone and know what's there on my Slate.
But you're not going to buy a Zoom. You're probably going to buy a Samsung that's smaller than the Zoom, I'm imagining.
In my case, I would probably buy a Zoom, but I get your argument for the Slate. My thing is, I'm going to want the extra real estate of the 10-inch screen. So I would want...
Yeah, because I don't know if I'd get... I honestly, I think about it, and I'm like, wow. Am I going to love this thing around?
I would want it, but if I was still being a true road warrior like I used to be, I would not want this. I would not want the 10. I would want the 7. And then for anything over the 7, I would want my laptop. But in the hybrid I'm in now, I would go for the 10-inch. But again, that's one of the other good things on that side.
Let me ask Phil some more questions, because there are a lot of apps for it. Phil, have you done some more discovery, maybe, and finding other needs that the iPad may fulfill for you other than the TV and the games? I hear a lot of people like the social networking on it, like what is it called, Flipboard or something, that people enjoy reading through that, which I think you connect to your social outlets, and it makes a magazine for you and stuff. And there's like other apps.
Because that was because what you just mentioned there, I have actually downloaded all those, and I did use them for a short while, but then from the point of view of using them regularly, that's sort of petered out a bit. But one thing I have just remembered that I actually forgot was the main reason for actually buying it was because, going back there a while back when you were talking about the Kindle a few weeks ago, that and you asked me about it, and I said that I preferred audiobooks. Because one reason for that was...
So you use it for a lot of books then?
Well, for one thing, but also when I'm away from my computer, because it's on during the day, and I actually log into it on the iPad remotely, because to do that on the iPhone, for me, the screen's too small for my eyes.
There you go, exactly.
Yeah.
That's
I do have
right, exactly.
that totally went over my head. I forgot all about it.
But I guess you're not using it as much as you used to. It was nice. It had a nice flair to it. It was something new, and then life moves on. And I guess because that is my argument. I think that it's great. It's an awesome. It's an awesome thing that Apple has produced and stuff. I just think that tablets were produced in the mid-90s, and things were tried. And the idea was to give us human interaction that was far easier, for like signature capture and things like that. And my argument still stands today is that I think that tablets are going to end up going right back to that standard. Bill Gates just came out and said tablets are PCs, and that's exactly what Windows XP Tablet Edition was, and how Windows 7 does. is that it's nice that we have these things, but there are people that I know that make great use out of the iPad, and there are other people that I think that they buy it, it's great for a while, and then all of a sudden it ends up sitting on the table or in some shelf.
Well, no, there's a lot of people hypothesizing that at some point Apple's going to come out with a 7-inch tablet because they're going to have to. That would be interesting to see.
For me, I don't care what size
well, no,
they come
but
out.
like what
no
you're getting into
with the phone, I don't care.
Well, no, but like what you're getting into, I think one of the real problems they always make with these Slate devices, they try and turn them into a full-blown PC, and I'm not sure they can be. That's clearly what Windows is going to be doing with Windows 8. You know, they've made that abundantly clear.
Yes, and I think that's why they're going with ARM. They're going to try to give the full Windows experience at a more efficient cycle to make it more pleasurable. Because boy, was tablet editions very, very much plagued. But you know what, Phil? You brought up something that I think is interesting. You use the iPad to log in to your Mac. That is a master-slave situation. That is how I view tablets. Tablets are slaves to a master XYZ device.
Yes.
And if you use it in that context, it makes sense to me.
Well, no. There's or the reverse. You know, there's a remote control to that side and so forth. But that's the other. To me, that's the real missing piece on whether or not Slates are going to stay around this go around. In that, whether or not these companies, and this is one of the reasons I'm really excited about a lot of things. So I would like to see Apple announce something like this too next month, so that they're competing against each other, making each other better. But I want them both to get the idea of this is a link device that's either remote controlling other things or subservient to other things distributing what they're doing, and it's a seamless interlinking experience rather than purely standalone or purely on. It's not its own device, it's just an augmentation device to expand the functionality of other things or have other things expand functionality through it. That if they're not implemented that way, they're a cool toy until the novelty wears off, and then it's okay. Where's my weapon?
I'm as guilty too for buying electronic toys and wasting tons and tons of money. And just buying little novelty items that I've been suckered into buying. I've been there, done that. And I was at the mall and came close to buying an iPad, but what stopped me was just, what stopped me, I think, is that my history of working with tablets. And I think that's probably why I was very hesitant. I used to deal with XP tablet editions. And I think it's just because of maybe my history, and I work in a very niche environment of medical that a lot of tablets aren't in use. Even today, you still have the Windows 7 tablet version in use on these tablets that you go into the administrative side of hospitals or something. I recently just had a baby, right? Everybody knows that. We check in, and what are we checking in on? They have tablets. They come up to the hospital room. It's running Windows 7 tablet edition. I don't know if it's a gateway.
Oh, no, wait, Ben, haven't you been watching the iAds? That's supposed to be an iPad.
I have not seen any iPads in any hospital. Now, what I have seen in hospitals, which I work, that's why I do Mac development, is there are doctors that have iMacs. Okay, they have iMacs that they prefer working on an iMac, but none of them have an iPad yet. And I work with right now 8 hospital systems that I don't know. There's quite a few hospitals in all of them, but Windows everywhere. They walk around with a tablet. But this hospital, I deal with behavioral medicine with programs. We went to a hospital to have a baby. I'm talking about just regular hospitals, not a behavioral health hospital. They're walking around with Windows 7 running on tablets, and so they were using a full-blown.
Well, no, and you know what? That's fine for hospitals, but have you ever priced those tablets? I mean, they cost like $2 to $10 grand. They're not cheap.
They're not $10 grand.
They
weren't back in my day. I mean, they were.
The hospital ones are $2 to $3 grand. The ones that you get in like industrial factories, those like 2-inch ones, those are upwards of 10K, which is ridiculous. You know, it's just like, what? And it does less. Yep. It's like, I'm like, what?
You know, and I think that's what prevented me from buying a tablet. And if anybody watches my YouTube channel, I made 2 videos about the iPad. And the biggest things that I focused on was the iPad connecting to my phone. And I went on I did 2 whole videos on dedication of services between my iPhone at the time and the iPad. And just never, so now it just became a standalone device. And I was like, I really don't want to use that. And I know a lot of people like Phil was talking about, he has, Phil, were you saying audiobooks or iBooks?
Pardon, sorry?
Did you say audio books or did you say iBooks?
Audio books.
Oh, okay. So, then okay, my question. But because my question was going to be next, then is it pleasurable reading on a backlit LED? Because I don't like, my eyes strain, and I love the e-ink, and that's why I'm getting it. You know, I don't know if these online books are going to be successful. I guess people can't handle that. I find it's very eye straining to read on those devices. And also, people have told me that when they're laying in bed when they read books the most, that the tablet is not as comfortable saying to do email on, because it's not like a folded position where the keyboard is, if you're laying down, you can type on it and you can face the screen. It's like flat, so
right.
You're holding it and then
this has been the e-ink thing has been a complaint with people, you know, going back a decade. You know, people just didn't want, you know, they're like, they couldn't stand, they're like, it's a better screen than sun, but, you know, sitting there falling asleep, you can't read it because it's creating such eye fatigue. And honestly, if we're honest, that's the habit of the end user. You know, end of the day, that 20 minutes of unwinding before they fall asleep, you know, just unwinding. And if you're...
Well, I found that e-ink is better for that than like a...
No, it is. And that's the thing. It's something that would really impress me would be if Apple and others would start doing a hybrid screen. Where
how do you do that? How do you do that? I mean, because the ink is like little ball bearings, isn't it? That change.
Well, there's a color e-ink screen where what it does is it uses energy when it flashes it, so it acts like e-ink, but it's not physical bearings. It is on-off pixels, but they're flashed and they're actual colors, but they're flashed on and off. But they're not like backlit. So you'd build a hybrid screen that has that layer, and then there's the regular screen for doing other stuff, and basically it'd be 2 screens in one sandwiched together. You could build that, so then you'd have a low power e-ink mode for doing things like that, and you'd have a full screen for other things.
Well, you know what? Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that was done on that.
No, but you know one thing that I am seriously considering is I'm very likely to go get a MacBook Air. I think I'm going to get a MacBook Air. That's going to be my new laptop. I'm pretty pleased with it. You know, it's coming down in price from it, and
I don't know you right now.
Why not? Look, I used to bash the MacBook Air. I used to bash it, but I think they've come down in price where I like it.
What have they dropped the price on the MacBook Air?
Dude, it's $999 now. It used to be $3,500.
Oh, they've made it like $1,000 now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's a totally affordable.
And that's like the 512 version or the 128.
I don't know how much. That's going to be. I'm like 85% sure that's going to be a guaranteed purchase, and I've got a few of the Macs I got to buy for the house and upgrade, like my Mac Mini server. But I don't. If iOS 5 fails to impress me, I'm probably gonna go. Man, HP's form factor. I love WebOS, but I love REM's form factor. Man, I love that 7-inch. I don't know if I'm gonna lug around that big form factor. You know, I've gone and I've held the iPad and the iPad 2, and I go to these stores and I played with the playbook at Best Buy and all that stuff. And
I don't know, $1,000 for a 64 gig 11-inch.
I like that. Look, I want OS 10. I'm not doing Windows. So the only way to get OS 10 is that way.
All right.
I mean, I may consider. We're gonna see the. We're gonna see. It's so. It is nice. I know everyone like.
Well, then again, I'm not
I want OS 10, and I'm not gonna go doing some Frankentosh.
No, when Frankentoshes aren't legal. Here's one of the reasons I really scuff at the Airs. There's two reasons. A, I'm not a big OS 10 person, and B, I'm not a big netbook person. Every time I am on a netbook, I'm like, I need a bigger system. You know, it's weird. I don't feel that way on a tablet, which is basically the same size, but I don't have the expectation on a Slate device. I do with a computer, and it gets in my way. The low resolution.
Yeah, I know, but you're talking about the really low. See, I consider MacBook. Let me put it this way. I know people. I just got in a debate about this. A netbook to me is not defined by its price, because a PC, like a desktop, can be priced from the cheapest to the most expensive, and it's still a desktop. A netbook that I define it by comes from the definition of a net PC, a limited I/O. In other words,
okay, but just to put it in perspective, I'm looking at the specs here of the Air here. You know, 1366 by 768. It's those little small screens.
That's fine, I know, but that's what I'm
essentially spec for spec. It's almost identical, spec-wise, process-wise, RAM-wise, so on and so forth. Most netbooks of that size do come with Atom processors. That's the thing you need to pay attention to here. With the Airs here, they did a bait and switch. Look at what Duo they used. It's the 800 front side bus Duo. Essentially, this is the Duo that's like the low-end bargain bin Duo that's on par with the high-end Atoms. They're spec-wise, they're very comparable processors. That's the branding difference, but they're not.
I guess I'd have to go look at it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the dual core Atoms that are in the 1.4 to 1.8 gigahertz range are basically the same chip. Actually,
I don't know what the model number is. What is the damn? All right, then I need to go to Intel's site. What is the
arc.intel.com?
Yeah, no, I know, but I want to find out. Let's do that now. I want to know what the specific model is that they used in the Air, and see it against their Atoms. Because I've used Atom processors, and they suck. Even the high ends, and my friend has a MacBook Air, and he's using Photoshop in the damn thing.
Okay, mobile products.
I'm in mobile products. Is it mobile products?
Yeah, hang on.
Intel Core i7, let's see, Core i3. Core 2 Duo mobile processor? Would that be it?
Hang on, they used the
front side bus is 533, 1066. Where the hell's the 800? Oh, there's 800 megahertz. Intel Core 2 Duo. See, I want to know which one they have. Is it the T9550? Is it
hang
the
on a minute, I'll tell you. I had to load it. Let's see, it's the 1. You're going to be looking at the $1,000 one, right? Okay, so one.
Well, maybe, I don't know. I'm saying, okay, so this one is, here's an Intel Core 2 Duo processor, T9550. Oh no, I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong one. Shit. Core 2 Duo processor, T9500, 6M cache. That's 2.6 gigahertz. Where's the 800s?
I think they're using the T5. 5270. Let me see here. 2 megabyte cache.
Gosh, can we sort by clock speed or not? This is insane.
Yeah, 3 megabyte processor, 3 megabyte shared, L2 3 megabytes. So let me look at this. There
we go. I got it. Intel Core 2 Duo processor T5270, 2 meg cache, 1.4 gigahertz.
No, hang on. They're using because they have the 3 megabyte cache. They're using the SU9400. My apologies.
Wait, which one is it?
SU9400.
Oh, okay. They have the 3 megabyte.
Because they have the 3 meg cache.
All right. All right. So let's take a look at this, and then what's the high-end Atoms? Atom processor.
So the easy way to find them is to sort.
Dude, all of these are like 533 front side buses, so they're not even 800 front side buses. None of them are.
No, they have a run of Atoms that are 800s.
Where?
Not
on this web page.
They may have just discontinued them. Let me look. They do this like brand swapping every now and then.
And there's a 2. Okay, you got a clock speed maybe. Okay, you got like this. This is probably the most expensive they have. All right, this 2.13 gigahertz, 533 megahertz front side bus. The pipes are small. This thing. 32-bit. Oh, come on, man. The Atom is 30. I'm gonna tell you right now, hell no.
They've discontinued them. I must have the last run of them because this one here, I'm not lying, is faster. Hey, this is something Intel's doing and it's pissing me off. Like
I'm gonna tell you the Core 2 and the Air is 64-bit, and this freaking Atom is 32-bit.
No, I know. This is something Intel's doing. They're discontinuing things and rebranding them over here and so on and so forth, and it's fucking pissing me off.
Well, give me the processor code, and I'll just Google which Atom you're talking about.
I'd have to look it up, and I'd have to stop the event. I'll look it up right after we stop here. It's like,
I'm telling you, I have friends with Airs, and I'm impressed with this performance. I mean, it's not the best Core 2 Duo, but I've dealt with Atoms, and I don't. When I hear Intel Atom, I just go the other direction.
I'm gonna have to find it, but yeah, because I didn't expect that song. But I'll find it for you here. In the meantime, we're gonna stop because we're at an hour 20, and we've like been babbling around looking for stuff. So, peace out for now. Let me look up.
Wait. We need to do. This is iWorld. We need to do the. I was trying to put. We need to do this. Here, you need to put.
We need to put this
on the screen because this is. Yeah, hold on. This one right here at the bottom of the page. You need to put that because this is the anniversary of the Apple Store.
Is it?
Yeah, coming up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, crap.
That's what I'm trying to think. I put that up on the screen or something. You know, it's a video of jobs. I mean, probably.
I'll put it in the links because I can't put it on the screen because it's on this computer, which isn't on this computer. You need to give me those ahead of time because I've got to like pre-prep them over here.
Oh, okay.
Like, everything that has to be over here has to be pre-prepped. But I know I will put it in the show notes. Why didn't you tell me that before we started recording? I could have like typed it over here and had it.
I thought you could just put it up.
No, I wish I could.
Wait a minute. What if I project it? Wait a minute. I have.
If you can get it clear, like zoom in on your screen.
Damn software called? I've got it somewhere. Hold on. I haven't used it in a while. There's an application that you can use that does this, and I have it on my Mac, and I haven't used it in forever. Go to another topic while I look for it.
I know other topics. We've covered everything.
Come on, Phil. Come up with something while I look for this thing. Cam Twist. There it is. Cam Twist.
Oh. of the few Mac only softwares.
Yeah, you know, I forgot. I haven't used it in so long. And alright, so what?
Isn't that like is there any development still going on Camp Twist?
You know, I have no idea. Okay, so I'm gonna do desktop. Select this screen. Oh, wait a minute. I'm doing it through Yahoo on. Where? I'd have to call you through Skype.
I'll put it in the show notes, man. Everybody click on the show notes.
Yeah, because I think it's a big deal, you know.
It is. I just don't have it over here, and I don't want to like mistype the URL or something. So that's.
I did put it in the show notes, yeah, but I mean, it's Jobs back in 2001 going over his little. I mean, they had little freaking the CRT iMacs and
product
stuff.
we make is in this first 25% of the story. See the whole product line. And as you see up on the ceiling,
God, he was so much younger than.
Yeah, I'm gonna say he has not aged well.
And Pro, movie photos, etc. on this side.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta mention this is iWorld, man. We gotta.
Oh no, I agree with
it's
you.
your graduate toys.
Oh no, like I could have had it queued up to like actually play the video and crap, and we could get sued for DRM infringement and crap.
Well, it comes from. Can they for that? No. This comes. Well, I guess.
I tell you what. Apple DRMs its stuff like crazy. Ugh.
No. Okay. I'm gonna say who is being punished by Apple after we cut off because I like don't. But no, basically they were a fan. They fan casted Apple stuff, and they're now like blacklisted for life. Anyways,
Oh wow.
Okay.
All right, then. So that was the last piece of it that I think we had to talk about the anniversary of the Apple stores.
Yep. Okay. Peace out, all.